Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. What is going on tonight? I kind of got sidetracked. I lost track of time, so I'm a couple minutes late. Sorry about that. I know it's a little early. I might start doing these a little later at night. I might do them like really late, like maybe 9:30 or 10 p.m. Yeah, I mean the weather's been really nice lately here in Tampa, so as long as the mosquitoes aren't killing me. It's the only problem with doing it at night and out here in the dark. If I want to smoke a cigar or something, sometimes the mosquitoes tend to be a little rough. So summertime, it's better to do it early. This time of year, lately the mosquitoes have somewhat been still a problem. So yeah, I'd like to do them a little later because I know there's not as many people on early. I get 12, 13, maybe 15 people at the most around this time. I know if I do it later, I'll probably be north of 20 people on the chat. So, it's one of those trade-offs, I guess. I did get some books in the mail today, so I'll be going over that, just a few of them. So we'll start off the show. The cigar I'm smoking, it's not one of my typical ones. There's a local cigar shop near me, and there's a nice lady that runs it, and she thinks the Ashton, it's an Ashton Corona. I think it's an Ashton. She thinks it's a really smooth cigar. I say, yeah, it's pretty good. It's not a flavored cigar. Well, that's not true. They're all kind of flavored, right? Cigar has a flavor, but they're not. It's not a flavor infused cigar. Usually, I smoke flavor infused cigars like acids, but I'm waiting on a box to come in the mail. Man, I save a lot of money too. There, I've had good luck with them. The last two boxes were really, really good. They were fresh. They definitely weren't dried out or anything like that. So I've ordered from two places. I've ordered from cigarbid.com, which is kind of like an auction thing. If you watch a certain box of cigars, sometimes you can scoop it up cheap. They have like an auction that's available. I've gotten some good deals on that occasionally, but lately I've had better luck just doing a buy it now with cigarplace.biz, B-I-Z, I think, Cigar Place. So if you Google Cigar Place, it comes right up. They've got some pretty good pricing. Like that box of those Blondies that I buy, the blunts, you get 40 in a box, and with shipping, I pay like $130 shipping and tax. And I think you can enter a coupon code occasionally. I think I got it for maybe I didn't pay the tax or something, but it's about $130 for the box. And if I go to a local cigar shop, that box would be about $210. So, I mean, $80. Yeah, I can buy a nice comic book for $80. So, I usually order them online. So I'll buy a stick or two from a local shop, but I don't buy my boxes from them. They're pure retail. So, all right, who we got in the chat? We got Marcus. Marcus is the first one in the chat. What's going on, Marcus? Marcus is always checking out the chats. We got Malcolm Giles. Cameron D's in the house. I'm doing good, my friend. We got BTC Moon Guy. He's always checking out the stream and the content. I appreciate you joining us, my friend. Yes, I did get some nice Bronze Age scores. I have got more coming. I've got probably another. Well, I got one today. I got two today. Copper to bronze, right? That range. Got a modern book that's a key. And I've got at least another 2 or 3 coming in the mail over the weekend. So next week I'll have a couple more to show you. I've been buying a lot of Uncanny X-Men keys, first appearances, second appearances. You know, I'm trying to buy them in as high grade as I can find. Not always easy. You have to be very careful. You have to look at all the pictures. Sometimes I'll email the seller to send me extra photos. Like if there's a corner where it's a little blurry or I can't really tell if there's anything going on there, I'll message him and say, hey, can you send me a couple pics of that right corner, you know, stuff like that. And everyone's usually very accommodating. I haven't had any problems. So usually when I buy a book, I don't get too surprised. I've done a good analysis of the pictures. You know, I've looked at all the flaws that are on the book. Most of the time I'm okay with a spine dent or two, or, you know, maybe a minor color breaking spine tick is okay. I like to have them with no spine ticks if I can get it, but it just depends on the book, how old it is, things like that. So you just got to be kind of choosy. Ancient Mariners in the house. Yes, but the best 12 or 13, indeed. Superior Hero Reviews is in the house. What's going on, my friend? He's subbing everyone up. Awesome. Yeah, I'm in that stagnant phase where I don't know, man. I feel like I'm going to be in that 700, low 700 range for a while. I'm at 712, 713, somewhere around there, 711, something like that. So, you know, I probably need to do some more things to market myself. Maybe I need to do some contests, giveaways, things like that. I've just not been, I don't know, I just haven't been gung-ho. Like some guys like, oh, I got to get to 1,000 subs. I mean, I'd like to get to 1,000 subs, but I guess it's not heavy on my mind all the time, I suppose. So I interact with probably a dozen of you through the chats and through Instagram or through the comments, and it's great. That kind of does it for me. I don't really need a whole lot more than that to make this interesting. So I'll keep doing these videos. I like doing them. I like doing the top 10 reviews. I need to do more videos where I'm showing some of my collection. So I talked about this with Marcus the other day. I'm going to try to do a video where I'm highlighting maybe my top like 20 books. It has nothing to do with value. Either it's the age of the book, the desirability of the book. Maybe it's probably going to be keys or first appearances. You know, those are the books I usually have the most value in my opinion. So there's a lot of, you know, that's a video I could do at least 20 to 25 of my top books. And, you know, it will pull out stuff I haven't shown in a while. So a lot of you may not be aware I have certain books. So that'd be kind of fun to do. I don't know if I could have them ranked or anything. I don't know. It'd take a lot of time to kind of rank the importance. I probably could rank the top 5. Yeah, it's probably just ones that are the best keys, you know, older, maybe worth a little bit of money as well. So yeah, that'd be a good way to do it. Maybe I'll do a top 5, and then the rest will just all be random books in my collection that I find very valuable to me. And it may not because they're worth a lot. Just some of them are just hard to find, kind of obscure, or that have really cool covers that I really love. So yeah, I need to do a video on that. I think that would be fun. All right, well, who else do we have in the house here? We got Issues. Most comic book people have issues in more than one way. They've got a lot of comic book issues, and they also have maybe some mental issues. I don't know. Nah, I can't say that. Most of us are very normal. We're a little obsessed, right? Most people that collect comic books are a little obsessive. We like to collect things. We like to keep things in nice shape. Nothing wrong with that at all. The Comic Assassin's here. What's going on, my friend? Yeah, Marcus, maybe a billboard. Top 40. Top 40 comic books. That's a good idea. I could title the video The Justice for Comics Top 40 Billboard. There you go. Or maybe you guys can give me some suggestions to highlight how many I should show. Top 20, top 25, maybe top 40. I could pull out 40 books. That would take some time. I think I said the other week, I went through some of my books and kind of organized things, put a lot of books away that I needed to kind of alphabetize, and I'm up to about 23 long boxes right now. I mean, I'm almost at the point now where I may have to start renting a storage shed or something, an air-conditioned storage unit to keep my comic books, which I'm afraid to do that because I've heard horror stories of guys that have done that, and they go to check out their collection one day and their locker got broken into, or, you know, so it got stolen. I mean, some of these, I mean, it seems like where I live in Florida, I mean, every couple miles there is a public storage or an extra storage space, Cube Smart. There's all these different, it's unbelievable. I mean, people in Florida must, well, we don't have basements. I guess maybe that's why. There's so many storage unit facilities around here because people don't have basements, right? We don't have like, and basements can be dangerous because of the, now usually they're cool, like up north, if you have a basement, the temperature is usually fairly cold. You have to worry about dampness with your comic books. So they usually don't advise people to keep comic books in their basement unless you know, have the temperature controlled really well with a humidifier, you know, maybe a dehumidifier, things like that, to keep the temperature stable. But, you know, in Florida, we don't have basements, mainly because if you dig about 10 feet down, you start to, I don't know, I guess in some areas you'll hit water, who knows. The soil down here is very precarious. Where I live too, North Tampa, we get sinkholes all the time up here. There was a house, I'm going to say it was a couple of years ago, maybe no, more than that. It was probably 5-6 years ago. It may have been 10 years ago. There was a home in Newport Richey that all of a sudden had a sinkhole erupt, and the house, it got swallowed. The entire house pretty much got swallowed by the sinkhole. And there was a guy sleeping in his bed, and they never found him. That's like, he literally is buried in that sinkhole. Because I don't know how deep it was. It must have been pretty deep. But you'd think they would still try to get his body. I don't know. To me, that seems crazy. Like, I don't know if that news article is correct, but I remember reading it online that they never got his body out. Like, it must have fallen down hundreds of feet. I don't know. But that is a danger up here. We do get sinkholes, and a lot of it's because the soil in Florida, we are limestone, and there's all these aquifers, and there's all this building, and they keep drilling down, and I don't know, it just causes problems. So yeah, there's issues around here with sinkholes. So that would be another reason not to have a basement. You might erupt a sinkhole. All right, who else we got here? We got issues. Just subbed up somebody. If you get to 1,000 subs, you get a set of steak knives. That reminds me of the Glengarry Glen Ross. It's the best scene in the movie is Alec Baldwin just like reaming these guys, these sales guys. He's like, "You're all fired. You've got tonight to earn back your jobs." And they're like, first place in this contest is a brand new Cadillac, Eldorado Cadillac or something like that. Second place, set of steak knives. Third place, you're fired. That's one of the best movie scenes of all time, I think. I love it, especially if you've been in sales. Like, I've been in sales in the past. So if you're a salesman, that's one of those Grail movies that you got to watch. Because it's like, as bad as you think your job is in sales, you just watch that movie and you're like, oh yeah, I don't have it that bad. Those guys are getting screamed at. So yeah, it's a good movie. If you want to check out a really good movie, Glengarry Glen Ross. It came out, when did that come out? Early 90s? I'd say early 90s, mid 90s. You couldn't put a cast like that together today. You had Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey, maybe before he was manhandling young men. You had Kevin Spacey. You had Al Pacino, Ed Harris, Jack Lemmon. Oh man, there was a bunch of good actors in that movie. Alec Baldwin. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Just a really good cast. You couldn't afford to put a cast together like that today. It would cost you way too much money. All right. What else? Who else do we have here? Superior Hero Reviews has a problem with his computer. Once in a while, I get an issue with my computer. I have a MacBook, so I don't have too many problems. I always had problems whenever I've had Dells, I've had HPs, and I always had problems with those damn computers. And they'd only last me like a year or two, and then they'd be done. I'd have some virus or some issue. I don't know, but I don't seem to have too many problems with my MacBook. They seem to be a little bit more secure. You got to watch certain websites you go on. Like I might go on Bleeding Cool to highlight some news articles here in a few minutes, and I'm worried about doing it because they have so many pop-ups, and I've gone on their site before, and it's like shut my computer off. So I'm a little nervous to go on Bleeding Cool. I'd rather go on CBR. CBR.com is better for comic book information because they don't bombard you with pop-ups. Rich Johnston runs Bleeding Cool, and I don't know. I've seen this guy. I've seen his editorials. He's just a real tool. I mean, he's just. I don't think much of him. But his website is very indicative of a total opportunist. So every 5 seconds, there's a pop-up trying to invade your computer because he's obviously getting paid by all these different companies. All right. Ancient Mariner says my Werewolf 32 is definitely one of my top. Yeah, that's a big book, man. That's a book I don't have. I have Werewolf 33, Werewolf by Night 33, second appearance, and high grade too. But man, yeah, that first appearance that's a book that pretty much, if you wanted to buy it in an affordable range, meaning under $1,000 and fairly high grade, you had to have bought that about a year and a half, 2 years ago, really. Probably a little bit more than 2 years ago. Last 2 years, that book has been fire. It's high grades get scooped up. If you're looking at auctions, they go nuts. That's a book that everyone's always trying to get their hands on. And some people are trying to get multiple copies. So yeah, that's just a book that I think it's one of those books that is hard to get. It's a cool character. I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll get a high grade copy. I mean, my long-term grails are to get a Hulk 181 again. A first appearance of Moon Knight. I would love to get that book. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Probably Bronze and Silver Age. I don't really care for Golden. I'm not after any Golden Age books. I don't know much about Golden Age, and I wasn't really. Some of that stuff just seems real. I mean, it's just very hokey. Even some of the Silver Age is kind of hokey. I'm more of a Bronze, Copper, and Modern Age collector, so I'll be looking for the keys in that era more than bronze or silver, and it's just too expensive anyway. So yeah, that's my take on things. We got issue says top 40 books would be cool. More the better. I like looking at other guys' books. Maybe I'll learn about a book I don't have. There you go. Oh, you'll definitely learn a few things because there's a couple books I have in my top 40 that a lot of people don't have on their radar that I just think are awesome, and they're not worth a ton of money. So you'll be able to go on eBay and pick it up for pretty cheap. But I love them. I just think they're really worth owning, and I don't know. Long term, I think there's some appeal to some of these books. But yeah, you're right. There's definitely going to be a few on my list that you're going to be like, never even saw that book before. So I definitely have a couple of those. So top 40, I'm kind of leaning towards a top 40. Problem is that's going to take me a little while to get together. I can't do that in a day or two. I mean, I'm going to have to I'll have to spend like a full day going through boxes and boxes and just kind of pulling out books randomly. That's how I'll probably start it. The cigar is pretty smooth. It's an Ashton. I think it's a Corona style. It's kind of a thinner cigar, long and thin. It's good. It's pretty. It's not harsh. There are a few dark cigars like Maduros that I'll smoke. Like there's the Cuba Cuba is probably the darkest cigar I smoke, which is it's an infused cigar. It's a highly rated cigar too. So there's a lot of people that love Cuba Cubas. I'll smoke those. I think those are great, but that's about as dark. I mean, they're still kind of mild. They're not real harsh, but and I've had buddies come back from out of country and they'll give me Cubans and I've smoked $80, $90 Cohibas and whew, man, they're hard. I smoke maybe 25% of the cigar and I'm like, I'm done. I can't handle it. So I know certain tobaccos, I don't know. I guess I'm a lightweight when it comes to certain tobacco, I guess. All right. Who else we got in the chat? We got several new people here. Comic Assassin says, I worked in the Everglades and there were small holes everywhere. Nice. I used to live, I grew up down in Naples, Florida. I don't know if you guys know where that is. That's near the Everglades. I've been to the Everglades many times to go fishing. I used to go fishing with a couple guys and we go out to what's called the Thousand Islands. And every year there's somebody that gets lost out there. They go out there and they don't have GPS or they do something stupid, but the fishing is fantastic out there. I mean, I've caught, that's the thing. I don't fish much anymore because I've caught, man, in Florida, I've caught about everything. I mean, everything, mahi, tarpon, largemouth bass, snook galore. I've caught 40-inch snooks. I mean, I've fished a lot in my, definitely when I was younger, I did a lot of fishing. So I don't fish much anymore. I'll take my son down to the lake here. We got a big 40-acre lake that we live nearby, and I'll take him fishing on occasion, and he gets a kick out of it. But yeah, I don't do as much fishing as I used to. But I do have great memories of living down there. It was awesome. Yeah, man, he says coffee's for closers. What's that line? He starts off where Jack Lemon's back there pouring himself a cup of coffee, and he's like, what does he say? Yeah, he says coffee's for closer. He goes, sit down, you son of a bitch, or something like that. And I can't imagine cursing at an older man, like somebody older than me, especially by like 10 or 20 years, and you're cursing at him. I could never imagine doing that. It's crazy. That's what's funny about the movie is some of the lines I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. It's hilarious. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, Comic Assassin agrees with me. Too much agenda-driven stuff on Bleeding Cool. I agree. Once in a while, there's a good article on there, but for the most part, a lot of it's trash. Zach B's in the house. What's going on, my friend? I am well, thank you. I'm just chilling on a Thursday night. I don't have any soccer practices to go to. My wife's gonna get home and make dinner in a little bit, so I'll be relaxed. Till then, I'm just drinking a little whiskey. So, by the way, I'm drinking. The hell is that whiskey I'm drinking? It's not Blanton's. I've been drinking Blanton's lately. Let me go get the bottle. Let me show you guys this bottle real quick. Hold on 1 second. Oh, yeah, here we go. So I'm drinking this Sazerac Rye. It's pretty good. It's a nice whiskey. It's fairly smooth. It's not so common around here. There's a liquor dealer near me that gets it. I think it's like $50 a bottle. It's not too expensive, but it's a good price. It's nice. It's pretty smooth. So that's what I'm drinking here, Sazerac Rye. Some of you whiskey aficionados might know what that is. Hey Jameer, if you watch Justice, he will cost you money. Yeah, man. If you guys get into going on Instagram and messaging me, I will definitely cost you money. You probably don't want to do that. Just ask Marcus, because if I start if I start messaging you and we start messaging each other, if I see like a really cool cover or a comic book, I'll like send you a photo of it, and you'll be like, oh shit, and you'll be compelled to buy it. I get people to buy stuff all the time. So yeah, that's probably not a good idea. If you want to like keep your pocketbook light, not spend a lot of money, you definitely don't want to message me a lot on Instagram, because I'll definitely show you stuff that will get you excited for sure and cost you money. All right, who else we got? We got Mad Mike's Comics. What's going on, my friend? I don't really have a format here. I'm going to show a couple comic books in a little bit that I got in the mail today. We'll go on a couple sites. Maybe I'll show you a couple things that look pretty cool. There's a really nice Artgerm cover that I saw on Instagram the other day. That's coming out in April, or I think it's in April or May. So they're bringing back Dark Knight's Metal #2. I don't know where that story is going to go, but there's a really, really cool Artgerm cover. When I looked at it, I didn't think it was Artgerm. I thought it was Alex Ross or something like that. It doesn't even look like an Artgerm cover, so it's definitely one that I think is going to be hot. So I'll kind of show you guys that. Wolf Warner says, favorite books this week? I had Flash 88 briefly. I had Flash 88 for about an hour. I picked it up at the comic book shop. It was the B cover. I liked the B cover better. I went home and I was doing something in the garage, and I had to use the bag that the comic book came in. I needed to use the bag to gather up some garbage from my car. So I took the comic book out of the bag like a fool, and I put it down in a box in my garage. And apparently on top of the box was WD-40 liquid. Apparently above the box was a can of WD-40, and I don't know how it leaked. I looked at the can; it didn't show any signs of leakage. So I don't know if it came out of the top or what happened, but it had leaked down onto the box, and I set the comic book on the box, not aware that there was anything on the box. And by the time I got inside, put the comic book down on the counter to put it in a plastic, to put it in I was going to put it in a Mylar actually, and I go to look at the comic book, and it's soaked all the way through with WD-40. Destroyed. So that was it. I was disgusted. I ended up tearing the comic book in half, threw it in the garbage. It was worthless. I couldn't even keep it as a reader copy because the liquid had obscured and I couldn't even read it. So yeah, thank God it wasn't an expensive. I mean, I paid $5 for the comic book, and I guess on eBay now it's going for like $10 to $12. But yeah, so it's kind of sucks. But that was the only book I was able to pick up. I tried to get that Venom 23 Scotty Young variant. Gone. Everyone I called, they all sold out. Either they sold out or they pulled it off the shelf and said, yeah, I got it for $20. I'm not going to pay $20 though. So unfortunately, where I live, there's probably 3 or 4 comic book shops. There's really only one that's decent, that's reputable, that doesn't do shady shit. The rest all, if there's a hot book and they know about it, it's gone. They'll pull it off the shelf, and they'll mark it up to their customers. So, and the other problem is, I don't have a regular pull list with a local comic book shop, mainly because most of them are far away. They're a 30 to 40 minute drive for me. So I've been getting comic books through Midtown through mail order for years, probably 7-8 years. So for me to switch from that to a local comic book shop, I would be willing to do that, or at least have a pull list, a certain pull list with them. But the problem is I pre-order a lot of my comic books, and if you pre-order a lot of comic books through your local comic book shop, they're not going to give you 35, 40% discounts, right? They're just not going to do that. So that's one of the problems that I face is I pre-order a lot of my books now because I know what I'm going to buy. I know what I like most of the time. I mean, I still grab stuff that I didn't pre-order, but most of what I buy is pre-ordered, and I like saving 35% off my order. And a lot of local comic book shops won't give you that kind of savings. So that's one of the issues too for me. So, all right. You go back to the chat. Buffalo Trace. I drink Buffalo Trace all the time. I just finished off a bottle. In fact, I need to go get another one. There is a local shop by me that sells it pretty consistently, which is good. Because if I go to ABC Liquor, Total Wine, they never have it. They're always sold out. But I found a guy, small little liquor store, and he gets like 4 or 5 bottles a month. So I usually try to grab one from him. But yeah, that's a great bourbon to pick up is Buffalo Trace. It's awesome. Marcus cost me five. He says I cost him 5,000. Oh my God, Marcus, you bought that many books? Holy crap! Marcus buys some really high-end stuff. He has a very keen eye for fantastic art. Yeah, Marcus knows a lot about comic books, especially from the Silver and Bronze Age. He knows a lot of that stuff way better than I do. Marcus is drinking the Buffalo Trace. Nice. Fantastic 448. Yeah, that's still a book I don't have in my collection, if you can believe that. I should have bought that a couple years ago, but the last couple of years I've just been buying that. I think the most I would spend on a book would be like $300 to $400, and I don't like to buy low grade books. So, I've been buying high grade, nice books that are, I bought a $300 book that's now $500-600. So I've done well. A lot of them have gone up in value. But yeah, that was one that I definitely missed. That it's a little expensive. It's obviously going to go higher as soon as they drop that trailer showing Silver Surfer or Galactus in the MCU. That book's going to go nuts again. Wolf Warner says he picked up Thor, X-Men, and Ghost Rider, Mother of Demons. I did pick up that Ghost Rider, Mother of Demons. I think was it the Stephanie Hans variant? It's like a red cover. It was beautiful. I definitely picked that up. And I think it's sold out on Midtown too, so that's probably a hot book. Thor, yeah, I picked up issue 2 and 3 of Thor recently. X-Men, I think I'm up to issue 5 or 6 on X-Men, so I'm maybe a little bit behind on that. Yeah, WD-40 definitely makes the Flash extra fast. That's right. Especially if remember that Christmas Vacation when he put some kind of accelerant on the steel on the sled on the little sled that he was going down. That's awesome. Yeah, Marcus says no, it was the 2000 store variant. Yeah, that's the problem. If you message me on Instagram, I'm probably going to show you store variants. And yeah, I mean, Marcus and I have kind of made a pact that we're going to try to buy less store variants this year and focus more on more key books, older bronze, key books that are in high grade. That's one of our goals this year, is to sort of lessen up on the store variants. But lately it's been kind of hard. There's so many good ones out right now. All right. Yeah, Immortal Hulk is always on my pull list. It's definitely a good book. Venom, yep. So my favorite is Daredevil, though. I think Daredevil's my favorite Marvel book for sure. So that's the one I always pick up. Immortal Hulk is definitely a good book. It was way better in the beginning. I think the first story arc on that book was fantastic. It's still good. It's not quite as good as when it started. So I'm not the only one that says that. Everyone says that now. It's pretty much the going consensus. Yeah, the Scotties were all hitting at the shop. I mean, Scotty, he's a good artist. I mean, he definitely has that style. Right when you see his art, it's him. It's not something I prefer. Like, I don't go out of my way to buy Scotty Young covers. That was just a cool cover because it had, it broke the fourth wall, right? It had Stegman and Donnie Cates on the cover, so it was kind of cool. But for the most part, I don't go after Scotty Young variants. The last one I spent any sort of money on was I did buy that Middle West #1 variant by Scotty Young, the sketch variant, and I think I paid $30 for it. You cannot get that book for less than $120 on eBay. I mean, go see for yourself. That book sells all the time at $120 or more. And if you can find it raw, you definitely should try to buy it because most of the copies now are graded. Most of them are absolutely graded. So that's a pretty rare book. I don't know how many. The print run on that book was still fairly decent, but that sketch variant is probably, I'm going to guess, a couple thousand copies only, so it's pretty low. All right, Perry's lurking. Perry's always lurking. I lurk on Perry's channel more than he lurks on mine. I know that. Yeah, Ancient Mariners, yeah, he's lurking. D Soul is asking, what stocks are you watching? That's another channel. I may do another channel one day on just doing stocks. I've thought about that. I'd probably get way more. I'd get way more subscribers. I actually know what I'm doing, so I probably would get. I wouldn't be surprised if in less than a year I get 1 million subscribers if I did a stock channel. There's so many people interested in that, and that'd be a good way to make money too, because I've watched a lot of videos about like what gives you the most ad revenue. I think like people, like women that do like makeup, putting on makeup commercials, you know, on YouTube, they do really well. But I think one of the best is like investment stuff. If you do like investment education or whatever on a YouTube channel, you get sponsors, they definitely pay more money. So yeah, that may be maybe something I'm into at some point. We'll see. I have to give it some thought. He goes, you sure you tend to watch a lot? Just working, listening. Yep. Yeah, I do. I check out Rod's channel quite a bit. So Perry's usually on Rod's channel. I've been on Rod's channel once before. Usually they have their 4 guys there on consistently though. Perry, John's Comics with Kids, and Rod and Comic Jabroni. Yeah, Perry's like 2 million easy. I think I could get 1 million subscribers pretty quick though if I did a stock channel. I have high confidence that I can do that. All right, BTC Moon Guy. Bitcoin has been moving. Yeah, see, everyone loves Bitcoin. Bitcoin's interesting. There's a lot of cool stories around Bitcoin. I'm gonna turn on the lights real quick, guys. It's getting a little dark. Let me throw that light on. All right, that's a little bit better. It's still kind of getting dark out here. As you can see, I've got my wife made me hang those up. I got the not Christmas lights, but you know, the everyday lights they call them, whatever. All right, so let me share my screen, highlight a few things that look interesting to me. Let me take a look here. One second, guys. All right, let me share my screen. So I had mentioned earlier about the Artgerm cover. That is the, yeah, there we go. That's kind of the full cover. So that's what the cover is going to look like to Dark Knight's Metal #1. This the second volume. Again, you got Greg Capullo doing interior art, and you got Scott Snyder doing the writing. Dark Knight's Metal did pretty well. I thought it was a good series. It didn't blow my my socks off. I didn't think it was like the best thing I'd ever read. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was decent. But I love that cover. I mean, that looks like an Alex Ross cover to me. I mean, if you had just shown that image to me real quick, there's no way I would have said that was Artgerm. I would have said Alex Ross. And hopefully it is a regular variant, not a 1 in 20. Well, you know, that's the thing. DC doesn't do 1 in 25s. They either do A or B cover. So unless this is a store variant, I think this is it says it's the official variant cover. So this will be the B cover. So the A cover is probably going to be a Capullo cover. I guarantee you it'll be a Capullo cover. right? He is the artist. He's going to definitely have the A cover. This is, and of course, there'll be in the store variants. There'll be a gelato cover. There'll be a Matina cover. You name it. There's going to be a shit ton of store variants. So this one will be nice because it'll be regular priced, right? It might be $5.99, $4.99, whatever it is for the normal B cover cardstock variant. So it might be $1 more than the regular cover, but I like the fact that it's not a incentive. It's not a store variant where they're going to charge you $20, $25, $30. But I love it. I'm definitely going to pre-order the Artgerm cover. I probably will order the Capullo cover as well. I can't imagine him doing a crappy cover for that first issue. Yeah, there you go. So if you guys haven't seen this image yet, that is going to be the B cover variant for Dark Knight Metal #1, second volume. And Wonder Woman, what does she have? It. She's got like I don't know if that's a spear with a serrated spear. That thing looks deadly. And of course, her lasso. It's a pretty awesome image, though. I love it. So, yeah, you're right, Perry. There is a black and white. So I don't know if that'll be like that'll probably be something that Artgerm sells off of his website, or there'll be a couple of store variants that will sell the black and white. But yeah, the black and white would be really nice to have as well. Yeah, DC aren't whores like Marvel. There is no doubt that is a true statement, Ancient Mariner. Marvel is definitely, and think about it, they don't use near the quality of paper DC does, right? They're going to charge you what their 1 in 25, their 1 in 50, their 1 in 100 covers are on shit paper. They don't use near the quality of paper that DC uses, especially on those B variants. So I don't know. Marvel has all the characters though. Marvel still outsells everybody. So yeah, I agree. She looks badass. So that's a really cool looking cover. There's a couple other cool looking covers I want to highlight. Let's see if I can find it. One of my favorite artists is Kale No. He's a Filipino artist. And yeah, he doesn't have it on his page, which is weird. Yeah, that's my favorite Spawn cover of all time. I can't afford that book though. It's like $500-$600 book. That was the Singapore, I think it's issue 304. It's a Singapore Comic-Con exclusive. There was only like, I don't know, 200 made or 250 made, so it's an expensive book. That's the best Spawn cover I've ever seen. I love it. So I don't think he kills it every time. Like this Ray cover is okay. I mean, it's nothing special. I really love the Red Sonja Age of Chaos #1 cover. I did buy that. I would love to buy that in a black and white, but I don't think that, as far as I know, I don't think that's available in a black and white yet. So there is a color variant on that, which looks really cool. But that black and white looks awesome. That would be an awesome book to have in black and white. Now, I am getting this cover in black and white. I did pre-order the set, Wolverine #1 by Kale No. And if you pre-order the set, you can get the special black and white. It's a Comic-Con exclusive. That I think I'll get it at the end of March. Yeah, Big Time Collectibles, I think was the site that sold it. So you had to buy the set, which was like $50. And then that gave you the opportunity to buy the black and white, which is phenomenal, for $40. So you had to spend $90 to basically get that cover. So, I mean, look at it. It's awesome. It's one of the best Wolverine covers I've ever seen. I love it. So that is a book that I will be getting at the end of March. Only thing that sucks about that is, yeah, I got to wait a while to get that book. But I was going to show you, this looks like a new cover. I don't know what that is. That looks awesome. It's a Final Fantasy cover. Maybe he's doing a cover for one of the video games. That was one I picked up as well. That's Age of Chaos #2 exclusive cover. I did grab that one. Yeah, man, the one I want to show you, let me see. I think the website was Comics Elite. I think it was Comics Elite that was selling it. Damn it. Can't remember their website. See, now the mosquitoes are coming out. This is why I don't do these podcasts late. As soon as the sun goes down, man, they just chew you up. And I can't put that what do you call it, the mosquito spray on me. I get a reaction from it. It kills me to put that stuff on. I did notice this. This is a cool looking cover from Nathan Zerdy, Red Sonja. That's pretty cool. Damn, I may have to go on my email. I know they emailed it to me. I don't think they're showing it on their website. Maybe it's just like an exclusive email first. I believe it comes available for sale tomorrow. Where is it here? No. It wasn't. No. It wasn't Comics Elite. Comic Kingdom of Canada. How do you like that? Yeah, it was Comics Kingdom of Canada. So the only thing that sucks about buying a comic book from Canada is I think the post expense is a little higher. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Yeah, I see. That's the other thing too. It's like you can't click on the image on their website. So I actually have to go back to the email. The email, you get a lot better picture of it. Where is it here? I'm waiting for it to load. There you go. Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, that's the closest I can zoom in, I guess. That's an exclusive Kale No cover for the Sumerian Queen of the Black Coast. I just love that freaking cover. I mean, I'm kind of partial to his artwork. So that's one that I've got my eye on. It comes out tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time. I think Comics Kingdom, I don't know if they've got a limited supply of these or not. It says we have a limited amount available. They don't say how limited though. So I don't know if they've got 100. I don't know what the print run on this book is. I love it. I think that I love Kale No's artwork, and that is a lot of awesome detail. I mean, if I could zoom in, you could really, really see this guy put some work on that image. But that's one that I'm going to take a look at. Hopefully it's like 15 or 20 bucks only. Ancient Air Mariner says there are any more Salinas covers. God Killers, I think, was the last one that he had coming out. Usually if you go to Instagram, go to DV Apple. It shows him drawing. So he does everything digital on a Microsoft Surface, I think. But that's him doing a live drawing. Now let me pull up his Instagram page. I think this is his latest one that he's got coming out, and it's going to be an exclusive at a Comic-Con. So I don't know. You're probably going to have to buy that online somewhere. I don't know that he's made. I don't think this is going to be available through Black Cube Comics. Doesn't Black Comics though in the post an allocation that's going to be available on Black Cube Comics website? But that cover is badass. I mean, if you want dark imagery, I don't think you can get any better than Esteban Salinas. I mean, that cover is freaking awesome. So I am going to try to get my hands on that. I don't know who I'm going to have to kill to do it, but hopefully Black Cape Comics will have it available on their site for a price. Well, I tell you, I'm glad I've kept a lot of his early stuff because I have a feeling he's going to be a very, very popular artist. I think you're going to see him do eventually some Marvel books, maybe some DC work. In my opinion, he's just as good as Matina and Hook Lee and all those other guys. And I believe the marketplace is going to recognize that at some point. And when that happens, all his early stuff, you know, a lot of stuff he's done early on only had a 100-copy print run. That stuff's going to blow up in price. You know, stuff that's selling for $100, $200 today is going to be $1,000. Mark my words. I feel very strongly that Esteban Salinas eventually will be a premier artist in the comic book industry. In all his early stuff through Black Cape Comics, I mean, he's done a lot of covers. You go on eBay, you'll find them. Rejected. He's done the Trees. He did one for the Trees exclusive. Just a lot of different books. All that stuff's going to blow up, I think, in price. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm usually right. So, you know, there you go. There's free advice for you. You can get books right now between, you know, high-end books, 100 print run between $200 and $300. They'll be $1,000 at some point. That's my prediction. But if you check out his Instagram page, I mean, he's just done some awesome stuff. I love that image he did of Kobe Bryant. That's awesome. Nice tribute to Kobe. Tragic story there. It's an awesome looking image. That was the last one I bought from Black Cape, was God Killers #1, which just came out. I should be getting that in the next week or so from Black Cape. I think that sold out. I think there was only like 200 available. You know, a lot of his stuff is at 100 print run, but I think this was like a 200 print run. But I believe it's sold out. It might be on eBay. You might be able to find a copy on eBay. I haven't looked at that in a while. I mean, he's just done some awesome stuff. But I think the last one he did was God Killers, and then he's got this one, which will be coming out at one of the upcoming Comic Cons. I think it's the Chicago one, if I'm not mistaken, the C2E2 Comic Con. Then that's his latest. Looks like that's his latest drawing is Batman, which looks cool. I don't know. That might just be a print. I don't know if that's going to be on a comic book or not. It sounds like it's going to be a print. Let's go back to the chat. I know I've been kind of ignoring it for a little bit. Perry says, did you realize they just released what Batman will look like? I'll have to check that out. I did see there was a really cool video game trailer for the Avengers that features Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, quite a bit in the trailer. So check that out. It's on YouTube. Avengers. There's a new Avengers video game coming out. It looks really, really good. And that's going to be one of the books I'm going to highlight here tonight. Kamala Khan's first appearance. So stay tuned for that. BTC Moon Guy has to check out. All right, my friend, we'll see you later. You'll catch the replay. Marcus says, I got to get that Salinas cover. I mean, it's going to be one of those Comic-Con exclusives, so that you will be able to buy it from somebody online. I don't know who yet, but I hope it's Black Cape Comics. We'll at least have an allocation of it. We'll find out, but yeah, Marcus sees DC picking up. Yeah, I agree. Somebody ought to pick his art up. He's fantastic. He's just as good as Matina and all those other guys that do dark covers. So I think he's just as good. And those guys that draw digitally can pump those covers out, man. They seem to be so fast. I mean, in Hook Lee, all his stuff is digital. I've watched the Twitch streams where he's doing it on, online and doing it digitally. It's fantastic. And Salinas has that. He's got that ability as well. He's quick. He's beautiful. He does beautiful work. And that's what you got to do. You got to kind of be fast. I mean, to make money. I mean, look at Matina. How many freaking covers does that guy pump out every month? I mean, it's crazy. But you've got to definitely have some speed to your art, no doubt about it. All right, it's 6:58. I've been on here an hour. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. CBR, I don't know if, oh, here we go. So Perry just mentioned this. First look at Robert Pattinson's Dark Knight. What is this, a camera test? Let's see what this is. So here you go, guys. This is a first, right on Justice for Comics website, or on his live stream. All right, I see his costume. That's kind of cool. All right. All right, there you go. So there's your first glimpse of Robert Pattinson as the Dark Knight. It looks pretty good. I like to keep an open mind. Everyone was really against Ben Affleck as Batman. I didn't think he was that bad. I didn't think he was great. The only thing I will say about Ben Affleck was he at least physically looked like Batman. I don't think his acting was always the best, but when that scene of him working out, I mean, that's what Batman looks like. He's big, he's strong. Pattinson, they're going to definitely have to use some camera tricks because I don't think he's a big guy. I mean, I think he's, what is he, 5'7", 5'8"? I mean, he can't be very tall. At least Ben Affleck was, what, 5'10", 5'11"? I don't know, close to 6 foot. That's the thing about Hollywood. When you look at these guys and you think they're bigger than life, but when you meet them in person, they're all on the small side. They're not big dudes. A lot of people don't know that, but that's the truth of the matter. All right. Zach B says Esteban usually gets 10 or so copies afterwards. Sometimes they're just for him. If you hit him up on Instagram, he'll usually work with you and sell you a copy. There you go. Hey, Esteban's got to make some money. He'll charge you a little premium maybe. Nothing wrong with that. If you can't buy it anywhere else, go to the source, right? Esteban's a really nice guy. I've got a personal relationship with him. I've messaged him many times on Instagram. He always responds to me every time. I remind him that when he becomes as big as Matina, don't forget the little guys. He assures me that he won't, so I believe him. But yeah, he's a good guy, no doubt about it. You can always try to hit him up. Maybe he'll have an extra copy or two. So Zach B's done the same thing I have. We've hit him up on Instagram. He's a nice guy. He'll respond to you most of the time. All right, what else was on CBR that I thought looked interesting? So that must have just dropped that little trailer there. That was another one I should have picked up. That Green Lantern. They rebooted Green Lantern. It's got a nice Perel cover. I was at my LCS, and man, every one of those copies they had was damaged. So that's the only reason I didn't pick it up. If I could get a really good copy, I would have bought one. So that might be one I'm going to try to buy online. Maybe after a couple weeks when things cool down a little bit. But CBR is indicating here that there could be storyline to reshape the universe, the DC universe there. So I don't know, that could be interesting. Yeah, so I think this is what I was talking about, the new trailer for the Avengers. Why not? I'll just show you this so you guys feel like you got it from Justice for Comics.
Now that is an entrance.
I was just some weird kid from Jersey who didn't fit in.
The kid isn't human. We did this, and she needs your help.
People believe in the Avengers. We can't just sit around and do nothing. Good isn't the thing you are. It's the thing you do.
So there you go. September, man, all the way in September, you gotta wait for that. That game looks cool. I'll probably buy that game. I mean, I haven't had a good superhero game in a long time. So that looks pretty cool. I don't know. What do you guys think? I liked it. I thought it was good. Okay, let me show those comic books. I'm going to wind down the stream here. I'm going to show off those books that I got in the mail today. First one is the Vengeance #1, first appearance of Kamala Khan, America Chavez. Is it America Chavez? I'm sorry, it's America Chavez, not Kamala Khan. I got that wrong. America Chavez. So there's some scuttlebutt that she's going to be in the Disney Plus series, some of those Disney Plus shows, possibly. So this book's been on the move the last few weeks. A lot of the Hot 10, Hot Top 20 lists have been highlighting this book. I got a really good deal on this book. I won it on an auction for about $40. Normally this sells $50 to $60, so I got a pretty good deal on it. It's in really high grade. The only thing, if I was going to get this graded, I would get it pressed just because there's a tiny bit of spine roll, which that's the easiest thing to get pressed is a spine roll. So other than that, if I got it pressed, it would easily be a 9.6 or 9.8, probably a 9.8 from what I can tell. I mean, it's really, and of course, when you put it in a Mylar, man, the Mylar magic makes it look like it's a 9.8 automatically. But yeah, that's a book that if I was going to get it graded, I would press this book, but it's in really nice shape for me. I don't need to get it graded. I'm not selling it anytime soon. Just a nice book to have for the collection. I love that cover too. I mean, it's a really nice cover. It is the first appearance, so it is a key book. First appearance of America Chavez is in this book. Not a character I care that much about. I don't buy her comic books, but I think there could be some higher upside to this book long term. So I do think it is a valid book to have in your collection. I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy any of her series and any of her comic books. I don't think they're that great. They're not well written. But it is a character that I think if you have the right writer on it, I think you could make it interesting and make it a really good comic book. It just hasn't happened. But this is still a good book to have in your collection, I think. First appearance of America Chavez. Another one I got was an X-Men book. This is X-Men 164. This is the first appearance of Carol Danvers as Binary. This book, about a year ago, kind of got hot for a little bit. I think it went up to like $40-50. I got a pretty good deal on this. I think I bought it with shipping maybe $15-18. It was pretty cheap. This is a really high grade copy. It's a direct edition. Notice direct edition. I do have a newsstand copy coming as well. So I did win an auction on a newsstand copy for I think it was even cheaper. I think I paid like $12 for it. And also in high grade. So I'll have 2 high grade copies, 1 newsstand, 1 direct. Yeah, it's a cool looking cover. Definitely an older 60-cent X-Men book. I'm trying to collect a lot of these older X-Men books. I've got several of them sporadically in my collection, but I want to try to get a run from like 130 all the way to like 200 if I can. So it's going to take some time, but I've got one about 160 through 170 right now. And this was one of the ones I needed to complete that collection. Just a cool looking book. I like the cover. This isn't super high grade. So if you're really, really paying attention on eBay, you can find these pretty cheap and really high grade. You just have to kind of look and be aware and check out the photos really carefully. This one has no spine ticks and it's in beautiful shape, probably 9.6 or 9.8 easily. And last but not least, is kind of an obscure book that a lot of people may not know about. This is the character that you probably are familiar with. This is Dr. Fate, #1. So this is his, I believe, his first standalone series. His first appearance is like More Fun Comics number, what is it? More Fun Comics number 15. I don't know. I can't remember the number, but it's a golden age. His first appearance is a golden age appearance, and it's super expensive. I looked on eBay. There was a 2.0 asking like $2,000. I mean, it's an expensive book. To find this, his first appearance in the high grade, you got to take out a mortgage. I mean, it's an expensive book. So this is his first ongoing series. It's 1975, so this is an older Bronze Age book. Kind of hard to find in high grade. This has the first appearance of Anubis, I think it is, the Egyptian god Anubis. This is his first appearance in this issue. And this is a tough book to find in high grade. I went through every single copy on eBay. I didn't see any graded copies. This was the highest grade I could find. If I had to grade it realistically, it's got a couple of spine dents, maybe 1 or 2 color breaking spine ticks. The edges are not bad. There's one little bit of, little bit of blunting in the corner. No, one little crease in this. There's a faint crease here, and you can kind of see in this one edge. So I would grade this probably a 7.0, 7.5. This was the highest grade I could find on eBay, though. Believe me, I looked at all the other ones. Had massive spine ticks all over. They had creases all over the cover. This was the highest grade copy I could find. I got this for, the guy was asking like $60, and I threw out an offer of like $40 plus shipping, and he took it. So I got a really good deal on this book. Keep your eye on this book. I think this book long term could go up in value. It's not his first appearance, as I said, but it is his first ongoing series. And I just think Dr. Fate's one of those. I think he's going to be in the Dark Avengers, so you could see some heat on this book down the road. But it's an affordable way to get a book that I think could move up in value versus the first appearance, which is just a lot of money. All right, guys, that's it. That's the books I had to show you. I appreciate everybody that kind of tuned in and was involved in the chat. I appreciate that. It's dinner time. I'm going to eat some dinner now. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications if you can. Share and like my videos. That kind of helps me grow my channel a little bit, so I appreciate everybody that does that. And look for my next video tomorrow. I'll be highlighting the Hot 10 list by CBSI. That comes out every Friday afternoon. Look for that video. I'll try to get that out tomorrow. And hope everybody has a great weekend. I'm going to be over in Orlando. My son has a bunch of soccer tournaments, so I won't be on these live streams that much this weekend, but I'll try to post that Hot 10 video over the weekend. And hope everyone has a great night, and I'll see you soon.